This means today you need to write it down and put it here. Now, I like goodies. Very simple. I like goodies like Lamborghinis, you need to write it down and mansions. I wanted all that too, don't you? So as we play this game, and I'm always going to call it winning the game of business. I wrote that 46 years ago into my books. All right, the bottom line is learning how to play. So understand, my life didn't start out like everybody else's in most cases. I got born in a taxi on the way to Gardena Hospital. She didn't want me. She threw me in a trash can. I got to be a Mrs. Hope the She-Devil from hell. So what am I supposed to do? Well, the reality is today, we're going to talk about your journey and mine too. I'm going to show you exactly what I had to get to million to billion. But I want you to listen and learn and follow through. Your journey today begins today. Why? I've told you to write down that date, right? Today's date. So understand, draw the diagram in front of you. Here's the problem. Okay, you didn't learn how to play the game. You didn't look behind the curtain and figure out things out. So you follow people, sorry to say, like ducks and sheep. All right, how to build your credit and this and that. Okay, so let's think about Bank of America today. In your city, your state, you have Bank of America's are shut down. They shut down locations. So here's the parent company, their corporate office, and they have this subsidiary called a branch number. Now, what do they get to do? They get to bankrupt it, steal the money and the assets and put in the parent company another location. Your banks are now shutting down more than 1,000 locations because they don't need them anymore. Instant transfer, Zelle, and other things that they purchase as well. So if we look at the rules and tools, a corporation can have subsidiaries. I want you to write down division process. I invented it, all right, in 1985-86. So we look at Chase Bank, US Bank, Wells Fargo. Now let's look at Sam's Club and Walmart. They shut down thousands of locations too. How about Geico, one of Warren Buffett's companies? In California, they bankrupt 38 locations and said, you're all fired. That's what they did. Did you know 11 cities filed bankruptcy so far? How did they do that? Let's see, the United States of America Incorporated, they get states, that's the corporations called states, and then they get cities that are incorporated. And then they invent a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. So they can bankrupt the debt anytime they want to. And they bankrupt it and they take all the good money and write it for their taxes. We the people, if we don't have the rules and tools, we can't play the game. So understand something today. I want you to write down, stop bringing the pain home. Biggest problem you have is you bring the pain home because you don't know how to play the rules and tools. And that's the biggest problem. That's your responsibility. So again, I'm going to teach you how to become a certified CFO. And then I'm going to certify you and get you millions of dollars. Is that okay? And then I'm going to hold your hand from beginning to middle to the end. And I want you to change your way you think to millionaire to billionaire. Now understand, I'm going to tell you to look behind the curtain every time. Now, what did I have to do? When I was a little boy, be on Mrs. Hope, the She-Devil from hell, she dropped me off Redondo Beach Pier every morning at 6:30. And when she rolled down the window, she says, if you're not here at 5 o'clock, I'm going to leave you there to die. She was a She-Devil from hell. Now, being dropped off Redondo Beach Pier is one thing. See, what did I do? I started gathering magazines. I looked at Marina del Rey, Torrance Rocks, Palos Verdes. The beach below Palos Verdes is called Rat Beach. Now, what did I do? I'm 3 years old. I basically went to the light with a hot dog stand. I stole food for 3 days. Third day, the man grabs my hand. Ow! What do I have to do? Let's see. Young boy, I can call the police. You can go to jail. Or you can take out my trash. Let's see. I get a choice. Go to jail. I'm 3 years old. I'm scared the crap out of me. Or I can take out his trash. So I became boy on the pier. I knew every owner, and basically from Tony's, everyone else on the Redondo Beach Pier. On the weekends, I went to their ranches in Palos Verdes to shovel shit, cows and horse shit. Isn't that terrible? But that's what I got to do. So let's understand you. Here's your problem. Your problem is your lack of knowledge. I'm going to show you something I set up for Asperian that became Asperian. Before that, it was TRW. So here's your credit cards. If you don't have them in front of you right now, write down the procedure. You're going to take the back of your credit card. You're going to write down the limit of your card. You're going to maintain 25% always, never past 29%. Well, let's watch what happens now. All right, because I drew the first one of these for TRW that became Asperian. That creates a line of defense. Did you know these cards fluctuate your credit up and down like a yo-yo? And what did you do? You jacked them up, you dropped the score, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more, and you honked your house. And that hurt the family. I don't think that's good. What do you think? Now, these cards here don't fluctuate your credit report. So if we listen and learn just to the rules, everybody in the United States of America can have a 750 score, knowing how to balance their debt. Hey, I can max these out here, $1 million friggin' dollars. As long as I pay a monthly payment, I'm okay. Everybody in the United States of America should maintain a 750 score. Nobody should have bad credit. But again, here's TRW. Thomas Raymond Moritz. They made bicycle parts, got information business. They were purchased in '96 by Experian. Because Experian was hacked so many times and indicted, they moved to Dublin, Ireland 39 years ago, by the way. So I drew the first one of these when I'm training Ken Yarborough. He was security chief at TRW. So what did it mean? It means good, fair, or no. These are the ones that balance the score. So if you let me help you, guide you, get to my classes, and we rebuild you, and we work together, what do you think? The ultimate goal to get the American dream. So 750 score. Now let's understand. I need you to write some things down. All right. Do you want to enhance your paycheck or you want to replace it? Probably a little bit of both. Now, when I say get your hands dirty, I want you to think every time you see someone, I don't care if it's me, or I don't care if it's someone on TikTok, YouTube, and you or Google, what are they going to do for you? Okay. Now I'm going to hold your hand, if you allow me to, from beginning, middle to the end until you get to Millionaire Group. Okay. Now understand, I've been coaching people since 1987 in my Millionaire Group, and I've coached into million to billion, and that's kind of fun. But again, what about me? Write it down, because I want you to think about what about me? What's in it for me? What can you teach me? Are you willing to hold my hand every step of the way? Everything I do is live. Isn't that fun? So if you let me certify you as a CFO, I'm going to take a corporation, if you have one, add division process, and get you $1 million of cash credit. If you don't have a corp, I'm going to hand you one for free. I've given them out for free for 46 years. I don't understand people spending thousands for a piece of paper when they're free and you pay a filing fee. And they don't learn diddly squat. I don't understand that. So let's understand today. As we play this game, my coaching programs, I can only do 30 coachings at a time. See, my problem is time. I can only do 6 calls a day. Here's my coaching schedule. From that, I don't have any more space because I'm only the one doing the coaching program. You're stuck with me. All right. Is that okay? Now, I'm going to analyze you if you're in coaching every 6 weeks. No, every 7 days. Every 7 days, I'm going to analyze your credit file and make sure you get a list. When we talk, like I got through my calls this morning, I just helped basically Joseph literally get a basically, all right, chicken place. All right, and that's what he wanted to do. But it's only making $30,000 a month. Is that okay? That his corporation's getting $30,000 a month? That's kind of fun. But again, it's going to be up to you to play the game. So we get to do that. So basically, Popeyes is good. So the bottom line is this. I want you to think about what people do in this world today. Every time I hear someone think, thank God it's Friday, it's Wednesday, hump day, all right, I stop. See, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't care what day it is. I care about Friday being the Sabbath, and we take the Sabbath in for Saturday. But I get to heal people on Saturday. That's how I got them to give me permission to do what I do on a Saturday. So let's understand, there's no plan B. There never has been. If you take a plan B, that means you're settling. Why would you settle? Plan A, get knocked down 1,000 times, get up 10 more times. Again, never get off the course. So understand, look at this. I want you to focus on what it says right there, and I'm going to circle it for you. A corporation is a legal person. What does it say? Corporation is a legal person. Okay, that sounds good. Chapter 18, Supreme Court says so. Is that okay? Now, I'm 7.5 years old. When I get to hear this at Mrs. Hope's house, she has a poker game with rich and famous people every Wednesday night. All right, but guess what I do? I wrote it down. All right, they told me I was weird. What did I do? I went down to the Torrance Police Department the next day. Next door is the library. Ma'am, what does this mean? She walked away. She was rude. Came back 5 minutes later. Here's a mock of his. Here's a book. I read the book. Hey, you've been reading the books too. You don't have a blueprint, do you? By the way, I'm Ray Reynolds, the Godfather of Credit. I am your blueprint. You need to pay attention today. Now, one of the things I didn't pay attention to is this. It may sue or be sued. What? See, everybody thinks corporations protect you and your assets. That's not true. It's never been true unless you know how to position yourself the right way. So what did I do? Now, I went to the library for 2 years. At 9.5 years old, I sent away a money order for $10 to the Secretary of State of California. Cost $10. It's a nonprofit. Okay, I'm gonna see if it'll work. I got $100,000 of credit in the mail. See, people in the 70s and 80s got credit cards in the mail without applying for credit. Is that okay? I mean, these are $1 million cards. How many would you like? You're entitled to 99 more cards under the Fair Lending Act for corps and divisions. So the reality is maybe you want basically checkbook money. Here's Wells Fargo. Comes with the checkbook, $100,000. So what did I do? I got that $100,000 in the mail, scared the crap out of us. I'm 9.5. The bottom line from there, I got named in the movie Dave as well, if you ever watched the movie. Next thing is I got in trouble when I was 12.5 years old. I used the word Braille. I started the first Orange County Blind Center, and I used the word Braille and didn't realize it belonged to the Braille Institution. I had to master trade name, trademarks, and copyrights. Kind of learn as you go, too. So here we go. Never bring the pain home. Now, I want you to think if you have a corporation today or hand you one for free, you pay your filing fee. If it's on, understand, your corporation is on the Secretary of State's website. Your name's there, you're the officer, you're the duck and the sheep, and you're the founder. Oh, goody. When they sue that, they sue you. You brought the pain home. Is that silly or dumb? Now, what did I create when they told me don't put all your eggs in one basket as a kid? I asked the grown-ups, what does it mean? They came back going, that's about it. So I created division process in 85, 86. So let's understand today where you need to protect you and your family too. Put your ducks in a row and never bring the pain home. So now me, I'm honest and I'm blunt. I tell it like it is. Don't take it personally when I say you followed stupid, you did stupid. Because that's what happens when you build your credit when you're a kid. Your friends and family say to do this, oh goody, goody, goody. Sorry, there's a lot of things you missed learning that process. So let's understand today. I'd like to get you to corporate millionaire. I only have 31 millionaire clients now and 29 billionaires. So I like to build you millions of dollars. Is that okay? Again, I'm going to treat you like you're 2 years old. I'm going to treat you and I'm going to tell you what to do. Because at the end of the day, I don't want you to bring the pain home. Is that okay? So let's understand a list. If you went shopping today, do you have a list? If you want to reach your goal, do you have a list? See, the problem is the goal list that you should have, which maybe you don't, there's a basically index for every item you want to go get. So here's what happens. When I do my coaching in the morning and in the afternoon every day, all right, we have our goal list. What is our next thing? How about the daily list and the weekly list? I blueprint you and we rebuild you my way to get to million to billion. So the reality is very simple, weekly. Then the project list, like getting the pot pies, which we just help somebody get. All right, the gas station, the laundromat, whatever pieces. So the goal should be auto income once you write it down. I created a foolproof program years ago before I got married. I proved, and I said one thing to myself, I will never get married unless I have a foolproof program that I don't bring the pain home like you. That was my goal. Not, I'm not getting married. I didn't get a mommy and a daddy. I didn't get a family. Never had a birthday or Christmas until I got a wife. She took care of those things, and I get guilty when I feel she tries to give me something. It kind of sucks. So here's Arnold and Dr. Lucky when we did the hospital in Fiji Islands. Here's Gold's Jim. All right, I got him $1.2 million for his 12 locations, and he says I kick assets and motivate. Simple. From here, here's a college professor at Bio University. How about Glenn? He lived in his car for 3 years. I said, stop that. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. I gave him a race 360, brand new house, brand new truck, and a business. Is that okay? So here's Giovanni. $1.6 million. He wrote the first comic book for Black little children. He worked for Pixar at the time. Isn't that fun? Little Karen delivered pizza. I said, stick around. I taught her to get properties under the division process in basically Long Beach, California. Now, she got $1.2 million in 9 months. Would you like that too? See, I can get you to million to billion if you allow me to, but that's going to be up to you. Now, we got to help people coming out of prison as well. So here we got Free Ray, Ricky Dicky Ross, gold and platinum cards. You see, the reality is like Thomas was in prison for 26 years. But for 6 months, I coached him every week and got him brand new dump trucks doing $5 million a year. I need you to focus on something today. What is this? You see, it's a $5 bill. Actually, it's a Federal Reserve note. Luckily, it still says in God we trust. The reality is it says Federal Reserve note. See, what money does for you, it gets all that garbage off your shoulder and all that stress. It's like, it's never the love of money, but money takes care of a lot of problems. It also gives you financial freedom, so you can help other people too. Here's your biggest problem. It's you. The biggest mistake in today's world is no one took the time, look behind the curtain, and understand how it works. The SS5 form, you did it to get your Social Security card 14 to 16. Now, if you basically, mommy did it in 71 because you were born after 71 on, because Nixon took the gold standard out. If she couldn't leave the hospital with her own baby and herself unless she signed the SS5 form for the SSN. It's federally mandated. Isn't that? She didn't even know that. How's that fun? So remember, your SSN for your 1040 tax return, you get one. In the 80s and 90s, people started using this for credit purposes and screwed it up for everybody. So let's understand today, we the people, and that number is issued to you. Now we're going to compare SS5 to SS4. Here's your problem, your biggest problem. Put your hands like this, just for the fun of it. So here we got SSN. That means tax, and probate when you're dead. The time of death at the hospital is for the state and federal government. So you can't take your stuff with you. So they make sure your family don't steal it when you're dead. The next thing is SS4. You don't pay tax until you're profitable. Isn't that fun? Can you read line 1, please? Legal name of what? Entity. If I can create an entity, I can get a tax ID, credit reports, and debt follows tax ID. Oh, it says our individual person. So I could actually play the game and win. Now, if you don't file your tax returns, I'm going to tell you you're a crook. You see, the reality is you can't play peekaboo with the IRS and make it a mess. Wesley Snipes tried. 3 years in prison, $5 million fine. Okay? The reality is you can't play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. So what we have to do right now, write down irs.gov and write down 1244. Write it down. So if you're going to get to million to billion, you better know the rules how to play the game. So we convert any type of corporation, C or LLC, into an S corporation. We don't almost pay no tax. Is that okay? We do a single filing and pay no tax until we get to 3 to 5 million. Is that all right? As we play the game, but it's up to you to listen and learn. So here's Thomas. Oh, sorry, this is Richard. Richard, one survivor, ran around naked on the show, almost died twice. He gets $1 million check. I tell him to reference 3 times 5 to 15 million. Here's a CPA says you only keep 375. And what did he do next? He pissed it away. 3.5 years in prison, 10 years probation, and violated that too. You see, what we have to understand is the lack of knowledge is the stupidity of man and woman. People aren't stupid. Half the people in this world are just lazy. The other half understand the United States of America, cities and states in Chapter 9. We the people. What does it mean? Supreme Court says a corporation is a legal person. What is your goal for you and your family? Stop bringing the pain home. So let's understand something today. I need you to write down division of me. Division of me. Go ahead and write it down. Line 1, legal name of entity, individual person. So let's mean I can take your name, your corporation, your division, or subsidiary and put it in line 1. And I can build you $1 million of cash credit under the corporate umbrella, finance the business, and write it all off. So what do we look at? First of all, we look at one of the Lamborghinis I bought in my collection. See, here's the keys. The payment is $6,800 a month when I obtained it. But here's my problem. If I buy that under me and I can't pay the payment, they take it away. Now I'll have bad credit. Then they'll report it to the IRS 1099-C and I'll have double bad credit. So let's understand something. What did I do? Remember I showed you SSN, SS4? I bought the Lamborghini as a division of the corporation. I guaranteed it as a division of me. I didn't use my SSN because I'm not going to be silly and dumb. So I guaranteed it as a division of me. Now understand, I wrote the book on laundromats, dry cleaning, payphones, storage units years ago and having fun. Have my properties and everything else, millions and billions of properties and all kinds of goodies. If I got a problem with one piece, I'm allowed to do the 3-step. Write it down. I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate. I can put that over here. Do you understand? That means here, all these other things are working. I'm not hurting anything. If I can't save this under the Federal Protection Act, I get to bankrupt it within 6 months. Boom. I don't hurt my family. Your problem with your lack of knowledge is you bring the pain home. When you sign a lease of a building, it's a division of me. When you get properties, they're in divisions because you don't know who's going to slip and fall and sue you and kind of mess you up. Money. How you receive money matters more than anything. When you receive it SS4, no taxes due to your profitable. Under the Fair Lending Act, one card is entitled to 99 more. How many would you like? Corporate credit is a write-off, interest rate and credit card. So let's look at Mary for a second. Mary's a nice lady. She calls the office crying. Oh, what did she do? Mary, slow down. I gave $10,000 to the attorney. He looked at the lease and said it was good. I gave $5,000 to the CPA for the books. See, Mary's an Ivy League educator, and she works for Apple at the time as a VP. What does Mary do? She wants to start a restaurant. So the bottom line is her restaurant failed. When she jacked up her credit 98,000 and went plop. She called the attorney and CPA. What did I do? What's their response? That's about it. So let's understand something for you. Because you don't know how to play yet, and you're going to learn that through me today, is what happened is Mary's restaurant filed bankruptcy. So that means she filed bankruptcy too. Lost her house, her husband divorced her 3 weeks later. If you take the time and listen to what I tell you, and I'm going to guide you and do most of the work for you anyway, I'm going to create you as a certified CFO. That restaurant should have been a division, okay, so they can get rid of the piece and not ruin the whole. Your banks and grocery stores don't destroy themselves when they get rid of a location. Mary's problem, she didn't know how to play, and she was not basically a certified CFO. So I want you to stop bringing the pain home. Now, as we play this game, if you have a corporation, look it on Secretary of State's website. Find your corp, find your name. If you use your home address, please change that. That was silly and kind of dumb. Now you add yourself to the national mailing list. All right, and got more robocalls and junk mail. So the goal is to put your ducks in a row. When they sue that corp, they sue you. That kind of sucks. So we create our line of defense. Is that okay? Our line of defense, like the banks and grocery stores and cities do. So here's a 750 score. Now, here's the $100 million building. All right, here's a $1 million Lamborghini. Here's the keys. Here's one of the $5 million mansions I obtained and a $1 million race boat. Now, did you not obtain these things? Why didn't you? I don't understand. I've been doing this since I was a kid. So these are kind of goodies, buildings and Lamborghinis and Ferraris you don't get till you hit 5 million. And if you allow me, I'll get you there too. So again, the goal is to be a corporate millionaire. And that's what I do for most people. So if I add you to my credit system, I get to rebuild you. So let's write down credit, loan, and money. So here's the thing. Borrow money is not taxable. If you get in one of my coaching programs and the money's coming in and you're paying the bills and the wheel is happening, we're going to take $100,000 of money, even off of a card. We're going to put it in the bank, reference 3 times 5. They'll give you up to $1.5 million. And your corporation's a management company that has a division for franchise, a division or apartment complex. You're going to create a line of defense. What will that do for you? Financial freedom. You see, years and years ago, I put in my book called Winning the Game of Business, developed by Repackaged America, one of my companies, and Only America too, auto income. And then I also put, basically on page 6, paragraph 3, cash flow free at my time. I own the rights to that, by the way, even though some other person used it, who's filed bankruptcy a couple of times. So let's understand, if I get you corporation's cash credit, did you know a corporation can loan out money? Every $50,000 loaned out creates $2,400 of cash flow above the bell. You can design your own paycheck. And how much would you like to bring in on a monthly base? Now, here's my matrix in Buckets of Money book I wrote. So this shows you 4.6 million and 190,000 a month. That's what I created years ago. So I want you to understand, I like auto income. Now, I've been doing this for over 46 years. on radio, on TV, all right, on basically in person or online. So again, I'm basically very consistent. So let's think about you today. All right. When I basically was doing my flippity dippity doos, and that's properties, I had a problem. I felt the buyer is a liar, the agent a broker too. The contractor hires a subcontractor that stands outside Home Depot. They're all trying to steal my money. I didn't like that. So what did I do? When I hit 21, I basically became the bank. All right. So I want you to think about something. When you sold a car, did you realize when you sold it, you could have kept the original note you have for the bank or the car, and you could have received money, become the bank, and pay the note. See, your problem is you did not think about becoming the bank. And the property. When I tear apart a piece of property and I'm looking at split deeding it, I'm going to do assignment of mortgage. If I look through my books for real estate, they did millions and billions and become the bank financial series. I also look at the assignment of asset. You see, all right, today you can find 14 states that sell properties under $100,000, brand new. You can turn them into Section 8, or you can turn around and have a local office maintain them and manage them for you. Now, again, what do? You know what the down payment is? $5,000. Would you like this one? How many would you like? See, your problem is you keep stealing from your family to roll the dice, and that's wrong. Corporation and division process, you can finance the American dream and get to the point you're bringing $100,000 a month. I don't want you to think about being rich. I want you to maintain a rich corporation. 5,000 down. Is that okay? We get auto income coming into make you a money making machine. So if you want to sell widgets, computers, or whatever you want to do, that's called OPM money. That's done in Bradstreet. You don't pay a bill up to 90 days, and you can sell on Amazon and eBay every day of the week. So let's think. Once again, these are buildings and goodies you don't get till you get 5 million. All right, God's gift. Mansions in the harbor and properties in all 5 islands. Then what do? Simple. You put on the Ray Reynolds University in every yacht and race boat and every Duffy because it's fun. Every building, every Lamborghini too. So understand, all right, helicoptering, building. Me, I'm a person that reaches all my goals. I reached them all. I got kind of bored and I want to help more people. Now, every time I hear some ding dong that says white men can't jump, that makes no sense to me. I broke the record for the highest kick and fastest kick in 1981. I guess white men do jump, just silly people say we don't. From there, I kicked at the lights. No matter where you come from, you can accomplish your goal. So let's understand, when you hear someone says no, it doesn't mean no. It means they don't know how. Your goal is to understand, don't accept no. I have 1,000 steps to millionaire. I put it in the Millionaire's Founder's Kit. I sold this book for $5,000 a set, 12 books and CDs at the Bonaventure for 32 years every Wednesday night. So here's a blueprint. I want you to think about a building call. If you take the time and you're serious about getting to where you want to go, I want to blueprint your life. I want to talk about your past, present, and future, and I want to look at good, bad, and ugly. I want to talk about family. I want you to talk about corporations and divisions. I want you to think about irrevocable trust because we have to plan to die and plan to live. The ultimate goal. Now, car should be a division. The house should be bought through the trust. Residual income, auto income, passive income. So what do we look at? Cash flow free up our time. If you ever want to spend an hour with me on the phone, if you have a spouse, make sure they're both on the phone because I'm going to blueprint both of these simultaneously. Now understand, there's that blueprint. This is what, again, corp and divisions are subsidiaries. Your banks use what's called a subsidiary, which is a corp owning a corp. They bankrupt locations all the time, another 1,000 coming up this year. From there, Sam's Club, Geico, and cities. So what do we have to look at? What I did, very simple, as a little kid, all right, stop bringing the pain home, become a certified CFO, and reprogram your brain to millionaire status. When I was at the Torrance Library, all right, for 2 years, eventually I kept going again and again because we didn't have cell phones for research. We had to go to the library. Now, let's understand, I wrote my first blueprint, all right, when I was 9.5. I call it see it, believe it, go get it. So here, you're treading water, you're playing it safe. I'd like you to change that. Can you please write down 5 things right now, please? If you want to get to million to billion, you're going to need these 5 things. You have no choice. These are things you must have, period. Without them, you can't get to where you want to go. And this is how it works. So let's understand. A true 750 score, not care, credit, first premier. Corporation, about 30 divisions. $1 million of cash credit, checkbook money, supply and vendor money. Those are the 5 things you must write down now, because you must have those if you want to get to million to billion. So let's understand what we're trying to accomplish. If you have a corp, if you want me, I'll build the one you have. If not, I'll hand you one for free. You will pay your filing fee. What is my goal? A corporation with 3 divisions in the beginning. Stop bringing the pain home. Put your ducks in a row and let me repackage your life my way. Very simple as we do these things. So let's understand. Here's rich and famous people. All right, Lakers, Clippers, Dodgers, Angels, presidents of the United States of America. It was fun when I did Ronald Reagan's corporation years ago. Nancy just kept saying, say no. I created Teach Our Children that actually became DARE. If you pay attention, I'll show you what needs to be done. These people listen better than most of you. Now, what did you do? I bet you sat down with your family and your friends at the kitchen table. I call it a kitchen table meeting. We're going to start a business. We're going to hawk the credit cards, jack up this basically number, drop the score, get stuck, can't get any more, and hawk our house and fall on our face and be silly and dumb. Well, that's what most people do. What is the goal? Never bring the pain home. So if we play my way, you write down today's date, we project 90 working days. You can get knocked down. I'll help pick you up every time. So winning the game of business, written 46 years ago, all right, from Repackage America, one of my companies too. Paragraph 3, page 6, cash flow for your time. So understand, we all go good and bad. Here's me in a coma 15 years ago in 2009. July 5th, I get to die. My wife tells people at the office, all right, he's going to come, he's going to probably die. What happens? Ron's over at the office at One Technology Drive with a U-Haul truck stealing my books and CDs. Tom, my IT guy, is selling my websites and my phone numbers. All right, so be careful of the people around you. So if you want to copy the Millionaire's Founders Kit, the office sells it for $499. I give it away for $199 during a live workshop like this one. So again, if you want to save yourself about $300, you would sell basically $199. The ultimate goal, and that's what you'd want to do. There's your Zelle information, Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@raisecredit.com, and you put RW what you Zelle for too. Now let's understand, starting a business is like, I'm sorry, some of your friends around you and family ripped you off. You allowed this. So when you start that business, remember, you don't know who to really trust. They might knock you off the cliff, or they're going to catch you, you're going to die. Do yourself a favor, hold your breath. Now, I got to tell you what happened with me as a kid. 2.5 years old, I'm being used and abused. But I got up at 225, or I got to get away from the abuser, and that's what I did. Ever since I was a little kid, I wake up at 225 every day. I can't sleep past that. I woke up today, went to my knees, said, thank you, Jesus, another day. I've been doing this mirror test since I was a little boy. So I looked in the mirror when I was a little boy, and I was crying my eyes out. The only one who can help me is me. God, me. So I put myself in check every day. What do? You have an idea, you go tell your friends and family. Oh, goody. Have you ever noticed I always interrupt you instead of encouraging you? And they're going to tell you how to do what you're trying to do. I think that's clouding your direction and they're just getting in your way. Well, that's up to you. So July 4, 2009, I got 3 yachts in my backyard where you park yours. Everything's going great. We take one of the yachts with a group of people and I get to die. I get to hear my tax attorney trick my wife to sign a POA. The nurse asked my wife if I was a donor. I got lucky that day. Jesus said, stay in peace or go back. I said, go back. So the goal is we all go through good and bad. All right. I moved 24 times by the time I'm 11.5 years old. Live with a lot of lousy people. I've been shot twice and knifed 6 times. My feel sorry for myself is 3 seconds or less. Yours, I'll give you 3 minutes. So I'm truly one of God's example, if you allow me to help you do that too. So out of my 39 books that I have ready to go, one's called Jesus is Not a Drive-Thru. Being a Christian's a way of life, not a moment in time. I have one called Bite Your Tongue, Love Longer. This I wrote mainly for men to be quiet, because when they say things to their kids and their spouses, they don't know how to be quiet and they can't take it back. Now I added another section to this for my daughters and my wife, because they have to bite their tongue, love longer too. How about fight the monster within? How about bullshit, don't pay your bills? And fighting through the pain. So I believe you're all stuck. I really believe you're stuck. I want to get you past go. I can show you Lamborghinis every day. All right, Duffy's. All right, from there I can show you mansions. How white men do jump, stupid people say we don't. More Lamborghinis, race boats in the backyard, helicopters, U-Docks, yachts, and Ferraris. I call this Ray's Rules. Just a couple goodies I obtained. All right, a lot more goodies after that too. So let's understand Ray's Rules. Pretty simple. See it, believe it, go get it. That's all we got to do. And I'll hold your hand from the beginning to middle to the end, every step of the way in a live workshop with me. So credit repair, sorry. All right, it's a fraud. There's no magic wand. I know they say they can remove it all. Good. They actually even quote the Fair Credit Reporting Act, pieces of it. Did you know it says they can't collect money up front? And what about the Credit Services Organization Act, the Credit Repair Act? Says the same thing. So let's write down section 611 today and learn what you can do for yourself. Now, the bottom line is, if you have an open collection account, there are 5 ways to kill a debt. You got to man up, woman up. You can't rip off your creditor. Now, remember, TRW started it all years ago. Thomas, Raymond, Warridge, and they said credit reports wrong. They became Experian in 96. I drew the first one of these. It was good, fair, or no. Very simple. And remember, with these 2 cards here, they don't fluctuate. We can maintain a 750 the rest of our lives. All we have to do is implement rules and tools and know how the system actually works. From there, negotiate a debt if you have one. All cards 25-29% rule and a rapid refresh. That's all you got to do. I call it the KISS method. And if you remember, KISS means send, keep it simple, stupid. Now let's understand. Some of you have credit. It's like, I want you to think about a division of you. So write down division of you. The same thing as division of me. All right. Now understand, we can create a credit file on my dashboard for you on your tax ID instantly. We can get you a card on that instantly as well. Your problem is you didn't give yourself more than one chance to try, and that's why you brought the pain home. You don't have to bring the pain home ever. If an entity has a problem, it can disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and you can replace it again and again. So there's no reason to be stressed out and not maintain a 750 score the rest of your life. A backup for a backup. So understand, the division of me, what have I obtained so far? Credit, properties, and franchises. And that's what I've done over my life's time when I invented division of me and the process of a division process. So today, if everything's kind of screwed up here, let's rebuild that together and let's get you the division of me. Now, the reality is I'm going to add one of my credit cards to your division for you and start the file. But again, a division of me, I charge $1,000 for it. I got a lot of work to do, and then we're going to be on the phone making sure I coach you on that process as well so you don't mess it up. That is a Zell simultaneously as well. From here, steps today. I want to get to millionaire. Then you have to get to the steps. Goodies. We have to look at your credit. Credit Karma, it's free. They got indicted 3 times. They were sold to Intuit December 3rd, 2020. So that's what we look at first. Now, the next thing we have to look at is what? If you're part of a member of what? LifeLock. All I can tell you is be careful. They've been indicted 6 times. Their last indictment's $100 million. Again, please be careful. From here, what are we going to do? I'm going to obtain your credit reports. I'm going to analyze your credit. I'm going to personally tell you live at 1 o'clock, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time on a Saturday in my educationalization class what I want you to do. I'm going to hold your hand and guide you as I work for you as well. And what are we going to do? We're going to guarantee a 750 score in 90 working days if you do what you're asked to do. From there, it's pretty simple. So understand, I'm going to analyze you, tell you what needs to be done live, you and me. From there, we got to go back to SS5, which is SSN. Remember, it says name to be shown on card, name at birth other than above. So let's remember, we signed an SS5, or mommy did, for the SSN to create a 1040 tax return. Your card in your purse or wallet today will say, do not laminate, don't carry with you, do not use for ID purposes, and it always says property of Social Administration, not you, which is still the IRS, by the way. So again, SSN is for the 1040 tax return. That's what it was for. When you got your first paycheck a long time ago, you asked that company you work for, where's my money? They pointed out the IRS gets their cut, you get the leftover. See, that's what makes us a bunch of ducks and sheep. All right, the reality is very simple. We, the people, all right, tell the government what to do, as Ronald Reagan said, not what the current dinosaur said the government tells people what to do. The Constitution was written for people. We, the people. But again, you have to understand IRS.gov 1244, and you file a single tax return together and almost not pay tax anyway. So there's that SS5. Why don't we compare it once again to the SS4? Right in front of you, the banks and the grocery stores in the city's bankrupt locations. You didn't bankrupt anything besides you because you became a duck and a sheep. Line 1 says name of entity, individual person. So if you let me rebuild you, we work together and hold hands. We're going to make sure you understand how to play. Remember, it says banking and credit purposes, right, per entity. A corporation is allowed to do 4 things under raised rules. That's it, 4 things. It can buffer tax. No taxes due till it's profitable. All corporate credits are write-off, even the interest rate in the credit card. All right, car is fleet price. All right, free buffet at the hotel. That's all it's allowed to do. Next, a division is a line of defense. They're cheap, they're multiple functions, buy at wholesale price, and multiple credit reports and separate liability for real estate. So a division is a line of defense that I invented in 85, 86. So I'm going to set up your corp, divisions, or tax IDs, build credit reports, Aspire, and Chanjo, and Equifax. That way I can build you $1 million of credit, if you allow me to. Next, we got to focus is, I'm going to guarantee what I say I can do, 100%. So this means you, as long as you follow the rules and tools, you go to class and follow your what, and you don't violate and jack up cards and apply and crash your wrapper rescore, we'll be okay. Because what happens is, if you did, I have to charge you a fee or close your case. I don't want to do that to you. So if you have an open collection account, 5 ways to negotiate, kill a debt. You have an IRS problem, they have a form for that too. So the goal is to rebuild you every step of the way. Next, what we get to play with is simple. Here's that 750 for you now. What are we going to do? Analyze you. We're going to basically do a wrapper rescore. We're going to push your score up, and away and create green lights. Here's an example for a client that did what I told them to do. In 3 days, I got 96 points. Is that okay? That's the goal. So if you want to get into our credit rebuilding program, all right, we're going to do a wrapper rescore. You're going to go to class. We're going to charge you basically $9.99. All right, and I'm going to hand your $1,000 card back to you to reimburse yourself. During a broadcast with me, I discount this to $4.99, the ultimate goal, and then the card becomes $500. So I want you to reimburse yourself. With the rules and tools I gave you today, knowing what card you don't have to worry about fluctuating your credit, you'll be able to maintain the 750 the rest of your life too. From here, if you don't have a corp, I'll hand you one for free. You pay your filing fee. If you do, I'll build the one you got if you allow me to. Rebuild your credit. Articles also says tax ID setup level 1. I've had a level 1 and setup class for 46 years, every Wednesday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific live with me. Now, if you want, all right, for $999, I'm going to rebuild your life. I'm going to hand you $5,000 back to you. From there, $24.99. I'm going to hand you $25,000 in credit. I'm going to analyze you. I'm going to basically add history, and then I'm going to start popping credit right away. If you want that kind of bonus right here, right now, it's pretty simple. All you'd have to do, take a picture and use Zelle, write RW in your Zelle. If you need to, you can call the office at 800-254-9506. Use a credit card, they will charge you 5% more because they have to, because that's what the bank charges us. So here's another thing I want you to do today. I want you off the national mailing list. See, I'm a voter. You probably are too. They sell the voting list 412 times a year. So you got a cable bill or a corporation. Why don't you call 888-567-8688, opt out for 5 years or a lifetime. Get off the mailing. Let's slow down the robocalls and junk mail. Phone number's right in front of you. From there, there's step number 4. As we play, remember, plan the problem. You allowed a friend and family member to rip you off. Sorry to say, it's probably true. And then you spent thousands on something that didn't work. If we take the credit and put that sticky like I told you before, that's called safety credit. What does that do? Line of defense. We have to build a line of defense to protect our families. So when I drew the first dashboard years ago, they finally caught up and did the truth. 0 to 29 is green, 30 is yellow, 50 is red. As we balance this debt, the ultimate goal is very simple. Step 5. Remember, these cards here, all right, we have to balance that 25-29% rule. These cards here, we do not have to, as long as you maintain a payment. These are the ones we will max out up to $1 million as long as you maintain a payment, and we'll never let our score go below 750 ever again. So that's the goal, knowing rules and tools. As we play, maybe you have an emergency. All right, you lost your job. What do you do next? People all do the same thing. They run out of time, all right, and then they jack up their credit again and again, usually in about 42 days. No reason to do that. Let's pretend today you need a card for $5,000. You needed $5,000. You ask your friends, your family, the bank, they all say no because you said you needed it. This is a $5,000 card in my hand. If I max it out today, the payment is $50 a month. So let's understand they say you waste $140 a week. If that's true, that's $600 a month. I could take $50,000 off a corporate credit card, buy a residual income, buy a franchise, buy a piece of something, and then I can write it all off using borrow money. During a pandemic, you can get 2 pizza restaurants too, using some common sense. Very simple. So again, white men do jump, just silly people say we don't. Nixon took the gold standard out. I need you to write down Ray's rules. Now I want you to write down, I'm willing to sacrifice a division, not the corporate, my family. That's what I'd like you to write down. You did not give yourself a second chance. That's your biggest mistake. We're going to give you more chances to try. As long as you're trying, you're not dying. If you're not trying, you might as well be dead. So I want you to understand, have your cake and eat it too. Raise rules, step number 7. Become a certified CFO and never bring the pain home. The ultimate goal. So let's understand. There I am, dead in the coma. Once you Google the address and find I'm telling you the truth, no problem. Been in 2 comas so far. First, I was crippled at 5.5. Jesus said, get up, I got up. Freaked them all out. Last one, I got to die and come back and help you. I think the devil's trying to knock us down and hold us back, but God's delays aren't God's denials. So we got choices. My goal for every one of you is to repackage your life like Humpty Dumpty, at least $1 million, maybe to $50 million too. So my coaching programs are simple. Your cases are on my desk. I analyze every 7 days, and every day I talk to people doing coaching. We make sure you get a list of the next steps. I just want you to do what I tell you to do. The more you think, you kind of screw it up. So starting a business wrong, I think when you quit your job to go be your own employee is wrong. I'd rather think my way. Maybe I can get you to think my way too. Why don't we basically buy a business ran by third-party necessity and get $100,000 a month? All right, and that's the goal, to cut in line, get past all that silly stuff. Because when you start your business, well, I'm going to buy real estate someday, I'm going to buy a franchise. Stop it. Let's cut in line, do it now. So checkbook money. Let's understand your bank is going to give you checkbook money. Checkbook money is very simple. That means we're going to get up to $250,000 of checkbook money. That's what you're going to use to get that piece of property or franchise. What's a corporation again? Legal person. It may sue or be sued. So let's understand how to play. The lack of knowledge is what makes people do stupid things. Reality is like this gentleman here. Lost my job. First of all, I'm going to tell him to man up. Simple. I came out of a coma worth billions of dollars. My wife and my kids have no place to go. I sold my wedding ring, my Rolex, my necklace, my bracelet. I took my corporation that I have 5 closet divisions, 3 divisions of me, and I built $1 million of credit in 6 weeks. Why don't people have backup and backups? I don't understand. His first thing is go to the church, get the food, then drive an Uber, Lyft, and basically have a garage sale. Because we all have to do these things when we have an old bad day. So the ultimate goal. So a division allows us multiple functions. Didn't matter if it was my 31 flavors, my Subways, didn't matter if my Shakey's pizzas or my shopping centers. What am I willing to do? Credit line of defense. The only thing I'm willing to lose is a division, not the corp and my family. So if you allow me to get your tax ID, in my system, I can create an Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax credit reports instantly. This allows me to go build you some cash credit right away. Next, I'll position you for checkbook money. So divisions allow us to multiply credit. All right, remember, when I created my first matrix in buckets of money book, it was $190,000 a month. We all can do this too. Look at your corp today if you have one. Make sure you didn't use your home address. If you did, put your ducks in a row. When they sue that corp, they sue you. And that kind of sucks. We got to create the line of defense. That's the ultimate goal. If we're going to play, I need you to understand about daisy chain and credit as well. It's one of my 100 books. This card is allowed 99 more cards. It's allowed every division to have basically a line of credit. If you project 9 divisions in the corp, that's $2.5 million of credit. If you want to obtain that too. You will learn how to daisy chain credit through my classes as well. As we play, remember 89 ways to use how to division. There's the goal. Divisions are very simple. I'm going to get the tax ID when I need it. In the beginning, I'm going to set the credit reports and add history there, so it sits there. All right, and then the corporate umbrella. The office is going to sell each division for $4.99. You get 3 for $14.97. Very simple. That is your price for 3 divisions. There's your Zell. From there, if you need to call the office at 800-254-9506, go ahead and do so. If you use a credit card, they do. You charge a fee of 5%. So I like goodies. You like goodies yet? I didn't like being used and abused as a kid eating out of a trash can. Goodies and goodies and goodies. Riding with Neil Diamond twice at the Love Ride was fun. So these are goodies you get when you hit $5 million. So the goal should be, let's get you up to $1 million of cash credit cards. And why don't we line up some checkbook money to $5 million? That should be your actual goal today. If we play, let's rebuild you here. Then I'm going to go after the green Spark Unlimited 100,000 and the 2 sisters for 30. That's 160 just for the corp. Now let's do it times 9. Is that $1 million or more? From there, let's get the B of A times 9. The Wells Fargo times 9. The Inc. times 9. How about the gold times 9? So this could be 5 of the 10 cards I like, up to $5 million, and then we have to look at the bank for checkbook money. They'll give you unsecured business line of credit up to $250, as long as you have a 2-year division or corporation, and that is the ultimate goal. These are the 5 that I like to get up to $5.4 million of checkbook money. That way you get that franchise, a piece of property, and when you use it with borrowed money, not taxable, you don't pay any tax and you make the American dream. And that's your ultimate goal for every one of you. So I got specialty classes in rotation. Saturdays I do 8 to 10 classes. And what happens is very simple, they're in rotation. Let's think, if you do what I tell you to do, and I pray to God you do, we're going to take the corporate credit, borrow money is not taxable, you're going to use that as borrow money not taxable, and you're going to buy your lifetime income. Just like I got the client to buy the Popeyes restaurant today. He's going to get basically what, 20, 30,000 a month. Is that okay? It's one of his divisions. You buy your lifetime income, real estate or franchise. That is your cake and eat it too. Raise rules. You become a certified CFO and you don't bring the pain home again. So let's pretend today I wrote you a check for $1 million. What would you do? Most people, I'll buy a house by a cord. Stop. That'd be kind of dumb. I want you to reference 3 times 5. It turns into 15 million. I want you to understand how to play the game. All right. So we put it to the corporation. You don't pay tax till you make a profit. So if we play this game correctly, we can win the battle. And that's step number 8 today. So let's think about today. Very simple. If you won the lottery today, what would you do? Okay, now what? Your thing is, I took the cash value. Everybody does. Then your CPA is going to say, put in your personal bank account. Now you have to pay tax on the interest you earn. I'm going to say no. I want you to put that money in the division of you and use the corporate tax ID. I want you to borrow against it. Sit down with the banker. I want you to create credit, what's called creating debt. Manageable debt. Borrow money not taxable. I want that money to sit in the bank forever. And that way we turn it to millions to billions. Is that okay? So let's remember, you've had 11 cities file bankruptcy so far. United States of America Incorporated, States are corps, cities are corps. They invented a Chapter 9 bankruptcy in case they have an old bad day too. You could have did the same thing, but the bottom line is you didn't learn to play. You got to have no intent to do fraud. As we play Google bankruptcy today, see, the only thing to file bankruptcy is SSN versus SS4. Who wants to be the duck the next time? The bottom line is we don't want your family or you be the duck. They add you to my credit system. What do I get to do? Simple. I get to build you up $2 million of credit. You go to class, you don't follow any what, and you pay attention, and you follow through. You beat your doubt, you run your race, and then you get out of my way while I rebuild you. So getting past go because I think you're stuck. God's gifts and mansions in the harbor, race boats, yachts, helicopters, Lamborghinis, and buildings too. I'd like you to change your driver's license in the future to a P.O. box or mailing address, please. I'd like you to protect yourself and your family. Step 12. Now let's look at your car today. The car you drive today, you went to the dealership, got sweated for what, 5 hours? Lost thousands of dollars, got 9 inquiries? That's not how you buy a car. A car should be fleet price, tax ID division. So the registered owner is the division, not you. As you do this, like the house, never have 2 people sign for the loan, please. Loan to value problem in the car. House should have been a trust, irrevocable trust. Car should be a division. Now, if you screw it up, you get bad credit. Then they report it to the IRS and they have double bad credit. The goal is what happens. If the registered owner of a car is a division, they're going to get diddly squat. Isn't that the goal, to protect you and your family? Planning the problem. So we play. Every property you get should be a division. You don't know which one's going to slip and fall and try to sue you. Your house payment offsets your taxes. Amazon didn't pay any tax on the first 10 billion to trillion. Why would they? See, you can learn to play the game and learn to win if you want to. So let's understand, there's no loophole. They're doing what they're allowed to do. When he bought Twitter, he used 2 lines of credit from banks of $44 billion. And the bank's current upset because he kind of screwed it up. Okay, twilly-dee, twilly-dum. I don't know why he did it, but that's his own problem. From there, he's got a spaceship. That's good. So let's understand, he's got a spaceship, so does the other guy. So they all have spaceships. Oh, goody. So if you play the game and you join the club, you could actually win. Step 15. Run your life through a corporation in conjunction. Pay tax, buy a Lamborghini. There you go. So what happens? Your paycheck is known as taxable income. That means flat out, all right, you pay for registration, the car, gas and registration, and the payment. Why don't you yell no right now, please? No, 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 because I want you to drive a company car. Step 17. Why don't you go to irs.gov today? Why don't you get a hold of an SS4 form where it says banking and credit purposes? So, see, you never had to be a duck and a sheep in the first place. You chose to follow ducks and sheep, and that's what you did for you. There's no reason to do that anymore. I'll hold your hand every step of the way. So understand, here's Mama, 1971. Nixon takes the gold standard out, and every woman has to sign the SS5 form for the SSN. If not, the baby can't leave the hospital. Everything we do is rules and tools to me. Escrow, close, homestead, trust. You have a house, it's not in a trust, they sue you, they take it away. You die, it's stuck into probate, your family got diddly squat. You fix up a property, you hire the contractor. That hires the subcontractor that stand outside Home Depot. And when they slip and fall, they want to take everything you got. Kind of sucks. My way, they get diddly squat. Is that okay if we do it my way? Why don't you look up an irrevocable trust today? The ultimate goal, that's step number 19. So let's understand today, stop bringing the pain home. Now, if you haven't filed your tax returns, fix that. You cannot play peekaboo, the IRS making a mess. Wesley Snipes tried it for 3 years. He went into prison, 5 years, $5 million fine. All right, so don't be a Wesley Snipes. He ruined his whole life and career. No peekaboo with the IRS. All right, very simple. Now understand, all right, you can actually get up to 70% discount through the division process. You don't pay a bill up to 90 days. You can leverage into millions of dollars. Borrow money is not taxable. Line of defense. All right, you could actually create this, and basically I call this step 21. They call it blackjack. Looks like you get to win. The ultimate goal. So let's understand. Here's my location in 2009 before I died in the coma. 22,000 square foot building, Irvine Spectrum, all right, Technology Drive. Okay, Well, guess what? I got to go in a coma. Everything I came out of coma was gone. They stole it all. What am I going to do? Go home and go boo-hoo? No, thank you. Simple. After selling my wedding ring, my watch, and everything else, getting $16,400 and build $1 million in 6 weeks. I use my blueprint. See it, believe it, go get it. So understand, I have 3 divisions of me and 5 closet divisions. I built over $1 million of credit in 6 weeks. I bought my wife her dream house the following year. So we have no excuses. The only excuse you would have is the lack of knowledge. And I'm offering to hold your hand every step of the way, even if I have to do a vision of you. So that way you can have a replacement for you if you messed up or you're going to mess up in the future. Always plan the problem, but that's up to you. If you allow me to do this for you, all right, I'll show you that I got basically credit, building, houses, all the pieces. Well, when I do a division of you, I have to customize it for you and we have to get on that phone. But then I charge $999 for that. And I even add one of my cards to your new division of you. Simple. It's a Zelle only. I don't take cards in that at all because that's you and me working personally together. From there are 1,000 steps to millionaire. The Millionaire's Founders Kit. See, you don't have your time right now. Your time has you. So let's understand. I want you to cut in line and let me rebuild you to get you some checkbook money to go buy that Popeyes or that McDonald's or whatever we're going to do. All right, or that piece of property or that apartment complex. Now, in all my calls that I have currently right now, I have only 3 positions available, period. Okay, I can only do as one person 6 calls a day. So there's 3 left. So what happens is in the coaching program, your file's on my desk. I analyze it every 7 days, and we give you that list step by step by step. Now, my people in coaching always stay in coaching for a lifetime, by the way, if you don't know this. So I like boring businesses. Usually $40,000 investment from a line of credit is anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 a month. 100,000 is up to 45, 250 is up to 75,000 a month. So I want you to think about what I did for my storage units that I wrote the book on, laundromats, dry cleaning, my payphones, and all the other things that I did. So here's a program. If you want 5 weeks to get your feet wet just a little bit, we're going to blueprint you. That call is usually $1,000. I'm going to hand you $25,000 of cash credit. I'm going to expedite you rapid. If you don't have a corp in 9 divisions, I'm going to hand it to you because you need it. I added an extra E there so you pay attention. From there, what are we going to do? All workshops for 5 weeks. This is basically per our controller, Scott. He says it's valued at $10,000. The office sales is for $4,999. Very simple. If it was done today, all right, I only have 3 positions left, that's it. You would get it for $29.99 if it was done today. And I'm like, yes, now. I have a list of basic people said they're going to do it, but guess what? They haven't done it yet. And when they do, whoever does it, then I got to tell them, hey, sorry, there's no openings for you. I'll be sold out like I usually am. Real estate, franchise, storage units. So you have a 5 week, a 3 months, and a 6 months, and a 12 months. So let's understand. When you go to the expo, it's like a deer in the headlights. Like, which one do I pick? I think you should listen, let me help you and get something existing. In other words, I would like you to own it, not run it. This gentleman got this, and he's got $6,300 or $63,000 a month. Actually, it's ridiculous how big this one is in Arizona. But again, it's okay. From there, how about we get basically 3 locations? They have $63,000 a month. How about we get a laundromat for $30,000 a month? How about a Wendy's? How about a Jack in the Box? How about a gas station? So it's like this. I just saw this the other day and I want to make a copy. There's a McDonald's available for $250,000 down. Usually they're $2 million up and $2 million reserve. But again, how about basically auto? How about basically gas station? How about a piece of property? They only want $8,500 down on the property. It's brand new. How many would you like? You see, when we look at residual income, the 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months program you want to think about, this year you should be focusing on $5 million. What happens in the 3 months program, we get your position right. 6 months, you usually get your first location. In 12 months, you get multiple locations. This is going to change your life forever, ever. I've always been a life-changing coach, period. From there, your goal is residual income. So if you allow me to do this for you, you're going to get in all classes. weekly calls, or a rapid rescore. What is our ultimate goal? It's very simple. I want you to understand projections. You're going to work with me personally, and I want you to understand basically daisy chain credit into millions of dollars. What happens here is simple. If you're in a 90-day program, okay, 90-day program, it's very simple. It's going to be about $8,000, $7,999. What's going to happen is it's 3 months. You're stuck with me. I'm going to give you $150,000 of credit with that as well, okay, which would have cost you about $15,000 anyway. From there, the 6 months program, $15,000, all right, for 6 months, and then I'm going to give you $300,000 of credit, which would have cost you $30,000. From here, if you wanted the 12 months, it's $30,000. And what happens is here, I'm going to build you $600,000 of credit. And to answer the question that one person says, if I'm in 5 weeks or something, can I upgrade? Well, I only have 3 positions left. You better upgrade before they're sold. It is a Zelle for deposit, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. Again, from here, what's a corporation? Legal person. What is a division? Line of defense. I'm not going to hurt my family and my corp. From there, what I do, multiply credit from a division process, like I put in my buckets and money book. Simple. A division today, we add 2,000 of history. We build the umbrella for you, and we're going to charge you $3 or $4.99 each, or 3 for $14.97. Very simple. Today, the extra thing is for you. You can get 3 for $9.99 if it was done before I'm done talking on the live webinar. There's your Zelle. Now, again, you can always call the office at 800-254-9506. If you use a card, they will charge you 5% more. That's how it works. What will you do, and what are you willing to lose? I never had a father, a mother, or family use and abuse as a kid. Never had a birthday or Christmas till my wife actually gave me one, and that was my goal. From here, family, I'm not willing to lose it. Corporation, they sue you. The division process. This is how we get checkmate every time. We get to play step 23. So as we play this game, let's understand. All right, reaching the dream, think to be the impossible. I've done it all my life. Corporations and divisions and training people to be a certified CFO. So let's understand today. Never have joint credits, just in the way. You buy a house, it's escrow, closed homestead, trust. Corporations are free for me for 46 years. You just pay your filing fee. Divisions for what? Real estate, franchise, current business, line of defense. I've always given credit back for what you invest in any program. I like to give you up to 10 times your money back to take away excuses. But you're stuck with me from beginning, end, and middle. All of these things, you're stuck with me personally. All right, I'm not going to pass the buck. I might have specialists to help you, but along the way, you're still stuck with me in classes too. And that's it, step number 24. So all of a sudden today, all you want is a 750. Okay. How about you analyze you, a rapid rescore? You go to class. All right, we build you up and away. You get $9.99, give 1,000 card back. But during the broadcast, I discount half price to $4.99, $500 card. And now you got rules and tools. You can maintain $750 forever. Is that okay? If you don't have a corp, I'll hand you one for free. You have one, I'll build the one you got. From there, set up and level one live with me every Wednesday and Saturday. All right, very simple. $9.99, you get 5,000 of credit back. $24.99, you get 25,000 of credit. We analyze, we add history, and start popping credit right away. That's the ultimate goal. Simple. There's your Zelle today. You can also call the office at 800-254-9506. Use a card, an extra 5%. So understand, you give referrals, I'll build more credit for you. If you want me to Zelle you 10% back for a referral, I'll do that too. But they better say your name when they sign up. If not, they kind of blew it for you. So what is our ultimate goal? Looking at the banks and grocery stores. Sam's Club, Geico, cities. So if we listen and learn, we can actually stop bringing the pain home, become a certified CFO, and reprogram our brain to millionaire status. We can look beyond that curtain. We can follow through. And that way you never bring the pain home ever again. So we stay safe, we stay strong, we do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. The ultimate goal at the end of the day. Every one of us have the ability to go get the American dream if we choose to. So if I offered a discount or something today, Zelle, now, or upgrade your program if you have one too. If not, call 800-254-9506. the ultimate goal. We do our best. Jesus says the rest, amen to that too. At the end of the day, we never forget at the end of the day, God loves us all.